Well, good afternoon. It's Saturday, November the 7th, 2020, and I'm going to go out on a little mission just to go and buy a bike cover. It's several days into this lovely second lockdown. Oh, been a bell end. Got to bring in side stand down. Dear, oh dear. Right, start again. And yeah, I'm a little bit bored. I've done most of my chores, etc. Make sure it's safe to go. And I thought I'd take a little spin around my hometown. The last few weeks I'm here probably, before I take my move over to that glorious place over in the Wiltshire countryside. That oasis of beauty that is Swindon. Well, let me stop waffling. This basically, if you don't know, is just like the little ring roady bit around Greater Leeds. It will take you down to Watlington Road and Cowley. If you turn right at the end here, once you get past all like the estate roundabouts and things, if you go right it takes you towards Tame, and if you go left it will take us down the Watlington Road past the BMW works, which I'm sure everyone will be enthralled to see. Yeah, this bit's not too exciting. So this is Greater Leeds. We've just gone past Brake Hill from Fries Hill. This is Green Hill. This is the original bit, the care home. This is built first. Down there. And so we're just coming up to the Watlington Road roundabout up here. And we'll go past the works in a bit. Now I've worked there once or twice over the years, like when work's been quiet and stuff, and also before I was even actually a trade. I did a stint there after I actually come back from my little stint of living in Swindon in the early 2000s, and it was that working there, my experiences, that basically made me decide to actually get a trade again, and hence carpenter, and then eventually, after owning a shop and stuff as well in the middle, I'm now in the pen pushing side of things, mainly due to the fact that my back, I've hurt it twice and it's a bit of a mess, unfortunately. Nice bottom. Yeah, had a good look. I'm like, well, this is where I'm at today, really. I'm in a position now finally to say, to make a move and own my own place. Well, actually that's a lie. I've been in for a while, but with Brexit, etc., and also COVID, so I was supposed to be moving in February of this year, but it's, you know, been a bit tricky because the first lockdown, everything locked down. You weren't even allowed to view places, which was crazy. I was just sort of in the middle of putting an offer in somewhere that was more than £100,000 more than the place that I'm buying, and I'm kind of glad that I'm not now. Anyway, Watlington Road, under the bridge, that bit that goes past where I used to have that bit of land in Kennington. This is the BMW works, by the way. I'll take a little bit of a gentle look over. I am looking forwards, while I got my head twisted, by the way, and I am looking in my mirror, so I'm not being too naughty, in case any coppers are watching. I'm paying attention. But yeah, I worked there when I was about 24, 25, for about a year. So I'd come back from living in Swindon with Jim Bob and his bros, and I was sort of deciding what to do, and it was that place that really, I suppose, triggered me, if you want to use that as a term, into doing something a little bit more worthwhile. Not to knock it as such, but I just didn't like it there. I don't think it helps. Sometimes you'll get a place that's good to work in there, and sometimes you'll get a place that's bad, and I worked in a bad place. Just wasn't very thrilling to go there day to day. At least now I don't have a feeling of dread when I go into work, which I think is good. I'm going to go this way because that way is Cowley Road, by the way. And that part of Oxford is not really that interesting for the most part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spin down a bit of the ring road. We go past like the main entrance of the works over on the right. We used to have the tunnel. I mean, it used to be all pressed steel on this side. This is the where the Longwall pub is. And there's like an Audi dealership and a David Lloyd gym here now. I actually worked very briefly in there. I did like a lot of the finishing. Yeah, there's the works. There used to be a big tunnel bridge thingy where the body parts used to come over from here and over there. There are still pictures of it, I think, on Google, and it used to be, before the flyover was here, you used to go down to that roundabout and then back up again. And so you got Pony Road and stuff over there where Fox FM used to be. Industrial estate, various bits and bobs. And over on the left you've got, I can never remember what this part of Oxford is called, I always get it wrong. It's basically, that will head back down to Holloway at these lights. And like if you go right, it follows on like to Wood Farm and Headington and like London Road is where I'm heading off to now. You're going to take a left at the old Hamburger roundabout, Green Road roundabout, which is, if you took a right, would take you out on the old A40, the old London Road, but Risinghurst. To say left is into Headington, and straight on will take you into Summertown in Oxford. I've got this in very light, very restricted power mode because it's quite slippy. It's still pretty cold, so I got it in like the fairy setting. She's a bit of a rip snorting beast when you put her in sport mode. So I'm just taking it steady today. I mean, traction controls on near enough full, ABS on full, engine power selection is like low. So it's like behaving like a big moped at the moment. But it's nice. It's nice in shitty weather. You can sort of ring the throttle a bit and it doesn't like want to take off. Because the torque on this thing is ludicrous. So it's a 1200cc. It's got slightly down on power than my GSX-R, which I still have. But the torque is about 20% more across like the entire rev range on this. So yeah, when you've got all the like the rider aids and things switched off, you give it full throttle even on a dry road and the thing just buck and skip and whoa, twist about a bit. That was me, by the way. I didn't go over any oil or anything, thankfully. That's the thing you got to watch this time of year on the bike. Oil and diesel spills. I mean, you see them on the road, little rainbow colours, and squeaky bum time if you go over one of those around a corner. Well, that's Risinghurst anyway, after the last bit of the industrial estate, over there on the right. And the McDonald's there, drive-through and stuff. So there's Quarry and Headington on the left, Northway and stuff, and Barton over the other side of the roundabout on the right. I'll take a spin down here. I ain't going to bother filtering, there's no point. Not today. Good old Macca's over there. Check, see if I'm still recording. Yeah, red light's still on. Camera's been playing up a little bit. Unfortunately, it's been driving me nuts. Right, we should head down here. I should try and show you the road where Bill Hine, the old Radio Oxford presenter, used to live. I suppose most people who've known anything about Oxford have seen the shark stuck in the house roof. That kind of happened, I think. It was installed when I was a kid. I must have been about... not quite sure. I was definitely at primary school because I remember my dad taking me to see it. And having a good old laugh. I say it's a good old London road. We used to come down here, the old is it Sharp and Prowse or something like that? Used to be an old hardware store down here. I always used to come here with my old man. I always used to get bits and bobs and that. I'm sure it used to be there where the Savvy place is now. Memories fading me. So we used to come down here and like mum and dad in good old days when people only ever used to eat fish and chips and stuff. So we used to come down here quite a bit. so I don't really have much to do with Oxford as a whole now. It's not really me. Most of my family don't live here anymore. I mean, I grew up and went to school in Kidlington, even though I'm originally from where is it? Little Hay Road, which is East Oxford. It's like down by the Texaco garage, I think, down a Cowley Road, the opposite side of the road to the bus station, which was a little bit further on, and so you had to back out the other way towards the works. Then you would have been in between there and the police station. So yeah, down there somewhere. I think I got some blue lights behind me. Ambulance. Well, yeah. Not surprising really, considering that the JR's here. Ooh. I think my mate, yeah, that's Jacobson Field, Pugsley's place, or was, maybe still is, don't know. Have a biker, give me a nod. Hey, give me a nod. I only ever really used to come down here because there used to be a Blockbuster Video here, but of course I haven't had a games console for years anyway. I've had nothing to watch films on. It's a bit out of date now, isn't it, with all like the streaming services that you get. It used to be over here, I think, up those steps if I remember right. There's the shark. Oh dear, that geezer was mental. It might be worth a pause and like rewind. I hope I got that. You can Google it anyway. Some beautiful houses down here. This is one of the bits of Oxford I actually like, but unfortunately, yes, this is rather out of my budget. And so it's Brookes University and stuff over on the left. We're getting the right lane, well, left lane, but the correct lane. Good old White Horse. Nice to see some of these pubs still around, even though they're not exactly like how they used to be. Different ownership, etc., more foodie places than they once were. That's Headley Way anyway. If you go down there, head to the roundabout, I think on the right is the JR, where I was born, back in 1998. Might have been a slight lie there. No, 1978. Vintage specimen. 42. The answer to life, universe and everything, isn't it? Hitchhiker's Guide. Bit geekiness there for you. I like those books. Sarcasm, great. We're heading to the school. Big old pretty building. So you do have some beautiful architecture here. Got some in sunny Swine Town if you take a look, but you know, it's a bit more prevalent here. There's a bit more money being a uni town, funnily enough. Headington Hill just coming up. Some memories of flipping cycling up that thing. So there's more parts of Oxford Brookes. It's the actual campus here. God, I've got squeaky brakes. Need to bed them in a bit more, I think. The problem with Brembo, you don't use them how they're intended. They tend to squeak. Over on the left will be South Park in a minute. No, not the one on the telly with the cartoon characters. The Oxford one. A nice place. You get a good view of the city here. If you ever come to Oxford, you sort of stand up in this, over in the far corner I think from here, but up on this level, you'll get a lovely view of the spires if there's no mist. It's a nice clear day. And so the bridge over and stuff, this is pretty. Well worth a visit. But just a little tip for you. If you ever want to come to South Park and have a look round, that's quite nice. Also University Parks and also Christchurch Meadow, they're some of the most beautiful parts of the city. So well worth a visit. I just hang behind the bus. I'm in no rush. So it's nice to hopefully get some footage of what this is like. And I'm a bit behind it, but you can see down there. So the lovely parkland, which we do fortunately still have a fair bit. Not concreting over everything here, thankfully. Swim past. I think that's the old Marston Road, so that would take you back towards the bottom of Headley Way. I used to go there a lot as a kid. So that's South Park over there, and Morrill Avenue, is it? So I used to go at Headley Way quite a bit as a kid because we used to have Marston Auto Parts there. Yeah, just cross the road on green and look at people dirty, even though you saw them coming from miles off. We're coming up to the plane roundabout now. This is St Clement's. You used to occasionally come down here. There's a few bars and things that I've been to. Myself and mates have been out Curry and stuff. Down a Cowley Road, which is parallel to this one over there. Some of these side streets should take you straight onto it. So be it one used to be, was it Bar Baby or something a while ago? This is the plane roundabout anyway, but coming over Magdalen Bridge. Mr. Bus Driver, yes, I was indicating, good man. Yeah, you can't really see much through the balustrades, unfortunately, with the river and the punts, unless I stand right up on the pegs, which I'm not going to do. There's Magdalen Tower anyway. Got a good relationship with Magdalen College, I did have. Always enjoyed working for them because they were very hospitable and kind. Unlike some which seem to think that you can, you know, you don't have any gear that you've got to get in, you don't need to park, and you can do building work without making any noise or mess. Dear oh dear, yeah, some of them are a bit eccentric and odd unfortunately, but they were very nice, they're very down to earth, very hospitable. A bit like Exeter College, they're very nice as well. Anyway, enough waffle. This is Longwall Street. Funny enough, called Longwall because of what's over on the right. You used to be able to park down here, which I think you still can, but you've got lots of restrictions in Oxford these days, unfortunately. Again, I used to come here quite often with my mum and dad because there used to be a chippy down there. Hey, every bike has nodded to me today. Right, down Hollywell Street, that will take you into Broad Street if you could go down there. The Turf Tavern's down there, by the way, and that's like on the end of the road where I'm working at the moment. We went through there and headed straight on, I think, over the roundabout as Broad Street. This is like the research and sciencey bit. I'm being a bit naughty, she should have let it go, but never mind. Should have let it go on the pavement, but I'm sure I'm not going to run her over from there. This is like the law, mathematics, science and I think history part of the university. You've got some ugly new builds over here on the left, some sort of okay-ish, maybe a bit clockwork orangey style buildings, and then you've got New College Sports Ground here, which has got some quite pretty old brick buildings, which, you know, I just like the traditional stuff. It suits Oxford more. Christ knows what's going on over here. I say this bit that we're coming up to, like Parks Road and stuff, it is where like a lot of the animal research buildings are, South Parks Road. And you would have seen footage of this no doubt on the telly with loads of protests etc over the years. Beautiful buildings, God knows what goes on inside some of them. That one not so pretty. Yeah, a bit of a mismatch. The college seem to be able to get away with anything these days. Like this thing on the left, it's like, ugh, not my taste. We'll take a little spin left where I am working. Where I am, it's not where I'm residing, but you know what I mean. Take a little spin up there because I'll take you hopefully up to the Radcliffe camera, the end of that Hollywell Street. It's a shame I can't go to the turf. This on the right, by the way, is the Museum of Natural History. If you ever visit Oxford, please visit this building if you've got any kind of interest in historical stuff, because it is very good, for want of a better word. And it's stunning inside. It's got like a really lovely like atrium roof, glass and metal. It really is stunning, and so well worth a visit. And also Pitt Rivers, which is there. Yeah, but this is Broad Street anyway, just coming into with the Sheldonian Theatre, and you can just about see the dome there, the Radcliffe camera over the top. I'm going to take a spin down there, because the other day when I came down here, unfortunately there was loads of lorries and stuff in the way. So there's Holywell Street, the Turf Tavern over on the left. That's well worth a visit as well. Inspector Morse's pub. So look at these beauties. The old bridge of it's not actually the Bridge of Sighs, if you call it, it's a copy of it. But yeah, I say there's Radcliffe camera. The cobbled streets. And Brasenose College, ex-college, is on the right. I just thought I'd take you for a little spin down here, just so you can see it. Yeah, this place is stunning. I think it's New College Bridge, possibly, but say it's definitely not the actual Bridge of Sighs. That's in flipping Venice. People just call it that because it resembles it, and it is used every day. It's actually not like an ornamental piece, thankfully. Say it's Broad Street, I won't go down there because there's traffic restrictions. I'd have to turn straight back round again, and it's not really that exciting. I'll take you past St John's College up here, the brick building. I believe it's St John's or part St John's. There's so much building work going on in Oxford at the moment. Unfortunately, a lot of it's covered over. I mean, I would have gone down Broad Street, but a lot of it's under scaffold and netting, so it's not really worth it. Yeah, as I said, Museum of Natural History is over there, and yeah, do visit it. And also University Parks, which is just up the road on the right hand side as well. I do like these old brick buildings. They've got character, haven't they? They put some effort into it. You think how long it must have taken to do the brickwork on them. The amount of cuts and little bits they've got to do, the patterns they've got to follow. It's just, oh, I just love it. Proper building work. So there's University Parks. Some of the other like mathematics stuff here, and like what I believe is like computer science and things. Department of Materials, Research Institutes. A little bit more of the parks. So I'll take a spin through North Oxford, because North Oxford is lovely. Again, a bit out of my price range. To the left is St Giles, by the way. I won't go there because everyone knows that, pretty much. We're out on the Banbury Road. Very leafy, beautiful, and extremely expensive, as you can see. Yeah, some lovely buildings down here. To be honest, it might be a bit extravagant for a single bloke. Upkeep might be a bit. So there's North Parade, that's quite cool. A little section of town worth visiting. Nice coffee shops and restaurants and things. But we'll go down here, we'll take you through Summertown, which is quite gentrified really since when I was a kid. It was a bit, back in like the early 80s, it wasn't anything special here, because you still had like Cutslow, parts of North Oxford, etc., that were council estates, and you had a lot of ordinary normal working people here. Now I worked for a lady recently that's moved there. She's a GP, so she, you know, she's probably on a 6-figure salary,